Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Weekly Show, where every Saturday we just talk about random wrestling topics. I'm your host, Steve the Reaper. Follow me on Twitter at Steve_Reapers with a Z. And let's get to discussing. Today I'm here with my friend Sean, who you guys have seen in previous wrestling discussion videos, such as WWE 2K15, just the gist of things, and that got over 326 views, which was insane, and I believe 2 likes. So that's pretty cool. Why don't you say hi, Sean?
Hello, nerds and fellow wrestling fanatics.
Alright, so like I told you guys, I've been spoiling it on Twitter. I've been saying in past wrestling videos that I would be bringing Sean back and doing some discussions now that he's all better and all that good stuff. Like I said, we're just here to talk about pro wrestling. It can be WWE, TNA, indie shows, whatever it may be. We'll just talk about that, and if there's any topics that you guys like for us to talk about, hit me up on the Twitter at Steve_Reapers with a Z, and just send in either questions or topics that you'd like us to discuss weekly, and that's just about it. So, yeah, first time doing... Well, actually, I guess it's not the first time, but I guess the third time that you and I... No, the second time. It has been the second time. Because first time was the WWE 2K15, just overall what we want in the game.
Yeah. This is the first discussion that we've ever done something like this.
Yeah, that was the first time, and, you know, like, we've been trying to get back into it, but with school and vacation and Sean being sick, it's just been like, man, when are we ever going to be able to do it? But now, you know, it's here, and we're just ready to rumble.
Yeah, herpes is not something to mess with, guys, so be careful.
And I'd just like to put a disclaimer, guys. I know, by the time of recording this, it's a Sunday, so I'm hopefully going to have this uploaded tonight. But if not, then just to let you guys know, we'll try to make it weekly, every Saturday.
Yeah.
And we'll just talk about wrestling, like I said.
The only reason we're doing it today is because it's TLC, and we thought it'd be great if we posted a video talking about TLC and then other things that have been going on. Right.
And not only we'll be talking about TLC, but we'll talk about other pay-per-views, stuff that's happened in the past. CM Punk. Oh, the controversy in this, will probably get a lot of heat for it, but hey, you know, it's just a talk show.
Well, you know what? Let's start with the most controversial thing. Now, Steve, I don't know what you stand on this, but me personally, I'm sick and tired of everybody blaming Punk for leaving and so on and so forth and yelling at him. Quite frankly, I could give a rat's ass. I mean, he does what he wants. If UFC is going to make him happy, then he should do what he thinks is best for him. I mean, that's how I look at it. I don't think it's anybody's place to say, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get destroyed, and blah, blah, blah. And he might get destroyed, who knows. But quite frankly, when it comes down to it, if he wants to try it because he got pissed off at Vince or something, then by all means he should go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, I agree with Punk. Like, sometimes, you know, you've had enough and you have to go and be happy. And after listening to his podcast with Colt Cabana, I mean, it's kind of hard to see whose side you want to take. I mean, do you believe Punk, who's basically the only reliable source you got, or do you, like, believe that, you know, Vince McMahon and Triple H aren't all that bad, and what Punk's saying is just...
Well, I mean, I don't really think anybody is wrong in this situation. Punk was just tired. That's it. He was tired, and he decided that it's time for him to go. And you know what? Quite frankly, whenever I'm tired, I know I want to go to sleep, so I go to sleep. Right. So, I mean, if he's tired of wrestling and he wants to go... I mean, granted, UFC isn't much of a jump from wrestling, because, I mean, UFC is more realistic, of course, because they punch the real. But still, I mean, it's just... you get down to it, he really fights whenever he wants to, sort of. Whereas wrestling, he's wrestling hypothetically every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see why you'd want to transition, but...
Now, did you...
That's just how I feel.
Did you listen to the podcast?
Yes, I listened to both of them, actually, at midnight when they were released. I listened to the... Because a lot of people really ignored the second one, which I don't know why, but the second one isn't really talked about all that much, but the second one really kind of gave closure on everything.
Well, I feel like...
I don't know if you watched it, and I don't know if any of the viewers here, if you guys watched it, but on the WWE Network, for only $9.99 a month, there was an interview with Austin and Vince.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, that one kind of gave a lot of clarity, and if you listen to it, then you know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, you totally should, in any way you can. But he talked about, well, first, Stone Cold didn't know if he should bring up CM Punk, so he kind of danced around it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess the way Vince said, he was really sorry for doing what he did, and so on and so forth, and he didn't mean to fire him on his wedding day and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know, I don't think his apology was all that sincere, personally.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Nobody really knows, except for Vince and Punk.
And Triple H.
And maybe Triple H.
Yeah.
And maybe Triple H, but...
Now, do you feel like the... I mean, at points it almost felt like Punk was... It felt like he was, in a way, like, bashing WWE, but at the same time...
Yeah.
I mean, the way he called Ryback steroid guy, and just...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I should take out of this.
I don't know. All I know is that, I mean, he even said it himself, he is better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I know if I had if I was fighting someone at, like, a fake wrestling round and they purposely kicked me in the ribs and broke my ribs, I'd be a little upset. But,
yeah. But, like,
that's just me.
Like, the stress that he's had to go through, though, and, like, how he's had to struggle just to get up to where he was at. I can understand the frustration being built up from all that, and then...
Oh, yeah.
Like...
Especially with him being one of the best wrestlers they've had.
Yeah. And I know some people will say, oh, you know, he's such a complainer, you know, he wasn't in the main event at WrestleMania, big deal. Like... I can understand why you would be mad about that. I mean, Vince did say that he owed Punk one 3 times. And not to cut you off, Steve, but granted, there are other people who deserved Mania main event. Oh, yeah,
I understand that. But at the same time, I also agree with he should have got paid just as much as Undertaker and Lesnar and Triple H and The Rock and Cena.
Like,
he should have.
Especially Undertaker, though. I mean, WrestleMania matches with The Undertaker, that's a pretty big deal. I feel like that's pretty much like one of the pretty big reasons why people actually tune into WrestleMania is because of the streak.
I was actually about to say, personally, that was my favorite match.
It was a pretty good match, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it certainly beats the ending of WrestleMania 30, but I'm not saying that just because Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker. I mean, it could have gone way differently than it should have been.
Yeah, but at the same time, I agree with Taker's streak ending. I agree with the person who ended it. I don't agree with how the aftermath was.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, they stretched it to no end. I would, too. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like, Brock Lesnar was really well known.
Yeah.
He really, if you think about it, he really didn't need to be Undertaker. I understand why he did.
Right.
He got super over. But still. I mean, just look now, this year. A lot of people, and I kind of agree, I don't see a point in having Taker come back. I really don't.
You don't?
I mean, yeah, it'd be cool for a redemption story, and it'd be really cool if he fought Sting, but still, it's just one of those things where it's like, without the streak, yeah, the Undertaker's still one of those well-known guys, but it's like, what does he have to lose or gain anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Did you hear about Undertaker and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31?
Yes, that being a possibility. That's also something I totally agree with. If the streak was still intact, that would be amazing. Taker versus Bray Wyatt.
But now
once again, without the streak, it's like there's not much reason to do it. I mean, hate to say it, but that's just how it is.
I mean, okay, I agree with like some of the speculations, like okay, Undertaker's being advertised for WrestleMania 31 on the trucks or whatever, and like people have said the trucks don't lie when it comes to advertising. But like I don't even know what to believe anymore because people have said, oh, you know, Undertaker versus Sting, but now it's going to be like, oh, Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. I don't know how either of those matches would play out. I mean, with Undertaker and Sting, sure, it's two big names going up against each other. However, Sting's old, Undertaker's old, I feel like they would only make that match only for the two big names.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, I want to see Undertaker come back just as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
But if that means that he's going to get hurt, then I don't want to.
Right. Well, what do you feel about the Bray Wyatt and Undertaker match? If it were to happen, how do you...
I think that'd be really interesting. I mean, I've been really upset with Bray Wyatt recently. Because as much as I like this feud with Ambrose that he's got going on, it's really not that good. And by not that good, I mean, personally, I'm not emotionally invested as I wish I was. I mean, granted, I don't even watch Raw that much anymore because of it.
All right.
But I do know the storyline and the way they're building it, and I just felt like they could have done a way better job than how they're doing it.
Alright. Now, with Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, do you feel like Undertaker should put Bray Wyatt over, or do you think...
Yes, absolutely.
You think...
Undertaker should not win, and there's a reason for it.
Alright.
Because Bray, if you look back, Bray has lost so many pay-per-view matches recently.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm not a big fan of his character right now either. But Bray, imagine if at WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt does this cool, creepy shit, and he wins. If he beats Undertaker at Mania, yeah, it won't be as important because the streak's not there, but it still gives Bray credibility.
Yeah.
I mean, he finally gets a big win over a big superstar with credibility to his name that can really put him over.
Yeah. And
I mean, that's how I felt with Jericho and Wyatt when that happened. I was really excited for that.
Were you?
But even that didn't really turn out that well, though.
I personally...
Their matches...
I personally didn't like it. Sorry to interrupt you, but personally, I didn't like it. Like, there was no...
They had okay matches, but the build was really weird.
Yeah, like, I liked the
matches.
matches.
I'm not saying it bad, and I'm not saying it was good. It was just really weird.
Like, there was no build-up to it. I mean, you have Chris Jericho returning to SmackDown or Raw, I forgot which one. You know, he does this Welcome to Raw as Jericho, and then he gets cut off, and then the Wyatts attack him. Like, what was the build-up? Where was the build-up at? I didn't understand. Like, okay, you know, classic heel action, alright. But I thought there's no build-up to it.
I know. You know what, though? Speaking of the Wyatt, I want to go ahead and touch on Harper and Rowan and how much I really enjoy them at the moment. Honestly, they're probably my favorite part of wrestling.
Oh, really?
A, because I'm a sucker for gimmicks. I am. I mean, when Los Matadors first came out, I was so excited for them. I'm not anymore, but I was at first. And A, the reason why I like Luke Harper so much is A, his gimmick's really good, and B, because he's an actually good wrestler and he can hold his own. That's why I'm so excited for him versus Ziggler tonight. And the reason why I like Eric Rowan so much is because at first, he really didn't have a character. Yeah. I felt like he was really just another person in the Wyatt family. But now, he's got this kind of like, he's got like this Eugene feel to him in a way, as to where he seems like some like I'm gonna try and dance around and not get hate for this, but he's got like this special kind of mindset, and then he's really slow in the way he does things, you know, and the way they kind of built him is really cool, because it's like if Eugene had a darker character, you know?
Yeah.
And I loved the Eugene character. I thought it was amazing. But a Eugene character where he gets bullied, he got bullied as a kid, and now he's way better and things like that, that's amazing. Yeah. Like, that could be a really good character that could hold over for a while. And that's why I enjoy it so much.
Do you feel...
And that's why I... Go ahead.
Sorry, but did you feel that making Luke Harper as the Intercontinental Champion was a good move, or do you feel like it could have, like, had better build-up?
Let me put it this way. I was really excited for it. I loved him as Intercontinental Champion when I watched that live. That was such a good match. But at the same time, it was one of those things where it's like, what happened after that? I know somebody brought this comment up on something I was reading, and it made sense. Like, every match you've had has been a DQ win or something like that. And if you're trying to build a badass monster who goes, and then clotheslines you for the win, that's not really a way to build them. Just give them a bunch of DQ wins.
Right.
That's not how you build a monster. I felt like you should have had more squash matches, in a way, or just really good matches. Like, they didn't even have to be squash matches. Like, both Luke Harper against any random mid-carder, R-Truth, what are some other ones? Both Slater Gator, all of them. Just people like that. Just booking in 5-6 minute matches with them, just so that way Luke Harper can truly showcase his skills, and they're not complete squash matches.
Alright.
And I felt like I can take him seriously as a champion. But that's why I feel like they're going to have Dolph win tonight, a month after losing his belt, because A, Dolph's an amazing wrestler, and B, his momentum soaring through the roof. And that's why I'm so upset that Dolph's going to most likely win tonight. Because I personally feel like Luke Harper should win. But I feel like because of the momentum Dolph has, they're going to book him to win. Because we already know Cena's penciled in to face Lesnar. I mean, that's going to happen. There's no...
Right.
I mean, spoiler alert, guys. TLC hasn't happened yet, but we all know that's what's going to happen. I mean, come on.
Speaking of Lesnar, and I know that before, like, while we were discussing about the show, we were talking about Brock Lesnar not being at many pay-per-views or house shows at all. What is your take on, like, Lesnar not showing up at all?
At first, I was really excited. I love the whole idea of them going back to the old days where the champion's an attraction.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's been gone too much. Like, I wish, like, me and you talked about this in an earlier conversation, but I really would have liked it if just on a random Raw,
right,
he's special guest, comes out, and F5's everybody. I don't care. Just F5's everybody. Like he did before when he F5'd the Outlaws beforehand. Like, you just come up to the ring, F5 everybody. Why? Because A, it makes them relevant. B, will get a huge pop, whether it be good or bad. And C, it shows you that he's still relevant. Because with him being gone for as long as he's been gone, like, I guess he's supposed to be on Raw tomorrow, I'm not that excited. Really not. Because I guess he's going to come out and F5 somebody, yeah, cool. But it's one of those things where it's like, if he doesn't even need a feud. Like, just have him be a badass champion.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. Don't have him be in any storyline. Just have him be Paul Heyman's advocate. Have him be the 1 in 21 and 1. And just have him beat people. That's all you gotta do. Because, I mean, granted, I'm not on the booking committee. But at the same time, I feel like I could book it way better than they can. I mean, that's just my mindset. If you want to have a guy who's super over, have him pop up on a random show and F5 a bunch of people.
Right.
And I know there'll be some people, oh, well, he'd be burying them then, and so on and so forth. It doesn't have to be that way. Like, you can book Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil versus whoever. Let's say the Usos in a tag match, okay?
I can't see that happening, but alright.
You have the Usos win the match, okay? They win the match. Woo! Boos! Down and down and down. There's music hits. Everybody goes, oh shit! He walks into the ring, and attacks everybody.
Alright.
Like, it's not that bad.
Right.
It's really not. Because, I mean, that way, you have the Usos with the victory, and then after the match, you have Lesnar come out and F5 everybody. That way the Usos don't get completely buried. Granted, I'm willing that they will be a little buried because they just won tag team matches and they got taken out by one guy. But at the same time, if you're booking Brock Lesnar to be your over guy, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're trying to book a guy to be your number one guy without wrestling all the time, that's what you gotta do.
Right.
You gotta have him be relevant. You have him come out and say, I'm a monster. I just F5 the former tag team champion, and who's gonna do a thing about it? Nobody.
Yeah.
That's how you get a guy over. Because then the fans are gonna be like, oh, I'll pay to see this mother trucker get his ass whooped. I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Speaking...
I mean, Cena's been winning every month. I'm pretty sure everybody would pay $1 million to see him lose.
Yeah.
Fairly. Let me throw that in there. Fairly. I mean, I would.
Yeah.
If I had a house, I'd sell it just to watch Cena get pinned 1, 2, 3 in a fair match. I mean, that's how you get people over, though, is you have them to be a superior badass. That's their gimmick.
Yeah.
Like Bray Wyatt. He's supposed to be this really pretty maniacal dude, but he's been losing all the time, so I don't believe he is.
Do you...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just... I would have... Like last month, I would have had Bray Wyatt defeat Dean Ambrose.
Alright.
Why? Because you could have looked it this way. Dean Ambrose lost at Hell in a Cell because of Bray, so now you have Dean go super crazy because Dean keeps upping up him, and then the next pay-per-view, you have Dean snap, and he lost by DQ, which was fair. I was okay with that. That made sense. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like the match should have never even happened.
Yeah.
You should have had Bray Wyatt come out and Dean Ambrose just go deep shit crazy. The match never happened. That would be the way I book it. Because that way, you have the fans invested. Oh, there's this crazy lunatic who doesn't even start his matches. He just goes insane and attacks everybody. Right. And you've got Bray Wyatt, who's a slow, methodical, Raven-like character who's like, yeah, I'm making you go batshit crazy, yeah. And then, TLC tonight, you have them in a TLC match. You start the match off, and just have them attack each other where they both have to get carted out of the ambulance. So now neither one still has a clean victory over the other, and that way, they build up to the Royal Rumble where they have like a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
At the Royal Rumble. And then that way you have a clean winner. I'd be okay with that. Because that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because now we have Bray Wyatt with the DQ win over Dean. Yeah, that's great and all. But he's had a win.
Yeah.
Like if neither of them had a win, it would build up the momentum more and more to a good match.
Yeah.
But then again, that's just how I book it. And I could be wrong. That could be the absolute worst thing you do in the situation. But that's how I would have done things.
While we're talking about booking, and I'll get into NXT in just a sec, given the circumstances with Lesnar not being at house shows and pay-per-views, who would you want to be the WWE World Heavyweight Championship?
Right now?
Yeah, given the facts that Lesnar doesn't show up at all, and he just shows up for 1 or 2 pay-per-views, who would you want to be the new champ?
You know, I really don't know.
All right.
It's a really good question. That's why I honestly feel like Lesnar is the greatest person to be champ.
Do you feel like...
I mean, the only other option we have of a fair, viable WWE World Heavyweight Champion would be Dolph, because he's so over right now, he's insane. And all of us real wrestling fans, not entertainment fans, know that Dolph deserves it.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be the person I'd want. However, with the way it looks, the only real person would be John Cena. maybe Seth Rollins with all the interference in the world, but that wouldn't make sense to a heel against a heel.
Yeah.
Or Randy Orton, who should be returning soon. But those are the only 3, because it's like nobody else can beat Lesnar. And by that, I mean, you'd be out of your mind to book them to beat Lesnar at this stage. Like Seth would make sense because he has the money to make briefcase. That makes sense.
You know,
John Cena makes sense because it's John Cena, and that's how it works. And Randy Orton would make sense because Randy Orton is actually pretty well over right now because I'm honestly excited for him to come back. But at the same time, Randy Orton has to deal with Seth because of what Seth did to him.
yeah.
I mean, that's just how it works.
So,
But especially, it's funny because if any of you are tuning into TLC or the pre-show at all, I'm watching it right now. And at SummerSlam, when it was Cena versus Lesnar, and you had Lesnar like just destroy Cena in a squash match, basically, that's another reason as to why you can't have Lesnar really lose.
yeah.
Because it's just one of those things where it's like you booked Lesnar to be this big, badass powerhouse, but yet you have someone like that's why Dolph Ziggler can't beat Lesnar.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make sense. As much as I hate to say it, it wouldn't make much sense.
So you don't think Roman? Like, personally, like, I agree with you with the wrestlers that you picked, but another part of me is wondering, and I'm sure a lot of people have been wondering, do you think Roman Reigns could possibly?
Don't get me started on him. I hate Roman Reigns.
Do you really?
With a grown-up hate.
Well, why do you hate him?
Because the son of a bitch isn't ready. He's not. I don't care.
Not ready for like a WrestleMania main event against Lesnar, or?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Oh.
No.
Why don't you feel like he's ready, if I may ask?
He's been in wrestling for 2 years.
Okay.
And all he has under his belt is a former tag team championship.
Alright. Okay, I can agree with that.
So, me, but then again, people need to know this, I am a wrestling fan. I like wrestling.
Not entertainment.
So that's why I'm not a big fan of Roman, because he's not the greatest wrestler. He's an incredible athlete. Yeah. And I feel like if he can expand his move list, and if he can surprise me when he returns, then maybe I'll change my mind. But until then, he is not ready. I mean, let me give you an example. Sheamus.
All right.
Sheamus. Where has he been? I mean, when he started out, he won the WWE title. Yeah. In his debut, I'm almost, don't quote me on it, but I'm almost positive it was a debut year. So I know he won it in 2009 against Cena.
Alright.
But if you look at it now, what is he doing now?
Nothing.
He's injured. I mean, granted, he's injured now, but he was the former U.S. champ. And the U.S. champ is one of the lowest titles right now. I hate to say it, because I love the U.S. championship, but it really is.
Right.
And quite frankly, it's just one of those things where it's like, Sheamus wasn't ready when he won it, and now a lot of people don't really like him because he doesn't have a gimmick. He's just another guy.
Alright.
I mean, that's why I feel like Roman should wait. If you build Roman up, you need to build Roman Reigns like they built Batista back then, where you just have him be a monster. Have him, I mean, I keep saying this for all the guys I brought up, but that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And you have Roman Reigns be a cool lone wolf badass, where he does the power bomb through announce tables and things like that. You met a good guy, like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Don't have him come back and win the title though, because that's insane. That's insane to have the guy who just ended one of the most prestigious streaks in the world a month later have him lose to a rookie. That doesn't make sense.
So,
and it won't be well received. Because I'm a part of the IWC. I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm also not afraid to admit that a lot of the IWC guys were all marks. We are. But if you really come down to think about it, although it sounds good on paper, it's really not Reigns versus Lesnar. Because Reigns is not ready. He is still a rookie.
So I
wish I watched other sports so I can make a sports analogy, but I don't because I'm a wrestling nerd, so I'm sorry.
I have to ask, and I'm laughing at this right now because of your opinion on Reigns. When he won the Slammy for Superstar of the Year,
God, don't stop. No, that doesn't make sense. How the hell was that not rigged? I know they said it wasn't, but that doesn't make sense. What has Reigns done this year? Other than have some okay matches with Evolution when they came back.
I don't know.
Okay, he beat Shane's elimination streak at the Royal Rumble. What else? He hasn't won anything.
Right.
He hasn't, his match with Randy Orton at SummerSlam isn't that memorable.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
No, I had to think for a second. I didn't want to get the pay-per-view that wrong. But, I mean, it's things like that, though. Like, Roman isn't ready. He's not, he's a strong singles competitor, but he doesn't have enough, like, singles, what's what I'm looking for, like, singles matches under his belt. I mean, he doesn't have enough experience yet, I guess, would be the word I'm looking for.
Alright.
And that's why I'm looking for Sting Brain. The poor guy, I feel so bad for him, because he deserves so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. The poor son of a bitch got injured, and he might not come back, he might come back. I don't know. All I know is I want him back. I want him back. And yeah, call me a mark, but I love Bryan Danielson. Alright, I love him. And I want him to come back.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Daniel Bryan come back. Yeah, I miss that energy.
He was such a good, well-rounded wrestler that you could pair him against anybody and it'd be good.
Right.
I mean, I've heard these rumors when it comes to Rusev, the U.S. champion. I've heard rumors that Daniel Bryan might actually come back and possibly beat Rusev, which would be really cool.
Really?
But I also actually heard that Roman Reigns might come back and beat Rusev. And quite frankly, I think that idea sounds amazing.
Well, Reigns
having Roman beat Rusev. That would make perfect sense. A, because he's not ready to make that yet.
Right.
B, it gives him credibility because everybody fucking hates Rusev. I mean, I love Rusev as a wrestler, but everybody hates him gimmick-wise.
Yeah.
Because he's a pro-Russian.
Yeah.
So if you have the guy you want to get over, beat the dude who's like, fuck America, don't come at me here. I mean, if you book Roman to beat him at Mania, that's like, oh, that's insane. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, I mean, that's how I book it.
Speaking of booking, NXT TakeOver, Our Evolution. Well, from what I've heard, from scrolling through Twitter, best pay-per-view in a while?
Hands down. I agree. It literally had everything a wrestling fan would want. It had amazing matches. There was some good storytelling throughout the matches. And there was some surprise.
Yeah, speaking of the surprise, are you talking about the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owen or Kevin Steen or whatever he is?
Yes.
Like, I know that we know, okay, whoever says, I have to break it to you guys, like, wrestling is scripted, alright? We all know this. But...
It's so real to me, David.
I'm sorry, man, but I just can't help but saying that. But I think now that we know that it's scripted, like, I felt bad for Sami Zayn getting attacked by Kevin Owen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but he sold it like a champ.
Yeah, he did.
He sold it like a champ.
Yeah.
And but it's one of those things where it's like, NXT has me so hooked, and that's why, guys, I promise you, I don't work for WWE. I'm only 15. But in all seriousness,
yeah, disclaimer.
Get the network. Get the network, man. It's worth it. I mean, granted, I get mine from my friends. Still, I would totally suggest getting it. Because the $10 a month just to watch NXT is worth it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, seriously, guys, NXT is the greatest thing going. And I read a couple comments on this, and I kind of agree. If for the people who do watch NXT and know what I'm talking about, it's almost turning out to be where NXT is like WCW in a way. As in, it's providing competition for the main roster guys. Because I was reading a report on WrestleZone.com where I guess there are people saying that the feeling backstage tonight is very fever pitched because of how well the NXT Revolution did. Everybody's like trying to be like, well, what the hell, man? That was so good. How are we going to top it?
I don't think they'll be able to be honest with you.
I don't think so either, because I've watched NXT Revolution all weekend, over and over again, and it's going to be hard to top. But I do feel like if these guys try hard enough, that they'll be able to. And if they do, then by all means, that means NXT has to top them, and it brings in good competition. And I'm all for it.
So,
quite frankly, that's what we lack in the wrestling world. I mean, we all know. It's one of those things where it's like, there's so little, sorry, let me take that back, there's so little competition right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but with WWE being a monopoly, I mean, TNA is trying really hard, and I appreciate it, and I really, really hope that with them moving to Destination America, that they just be different. That's all I want. I just want them to I want them to be a wrestling company.
Yeah. Because
even Vince said it himself. He is in the sports entertainment business. If Impact can be in the wrestling business, then I'll be happy. Because nobody can compete with WWE right now. I'm sorry. New Japan can't, Ring of Honor can't, Global Force Wrestling can't, and TNA Short Top can't. You can't. I mean, Vince owns wrestling.
Yeah.
If you bring up pro wrestling, oh, that's that WWF, WWE company, right? Yeah, that's what Hulk Hogan did. I mean, that's what people think of.
Yeah.
And if TNA can just be different and not try and be WWE's little brother, I'd be happy with this. Same with Global Force Wrestling. Same with New Japan. And even same with Lucha Underground. For those of you who don't know what Lucha Underground is, it's on the LA Network on Wednesdays, and it's fucking insane. Like, I personally can't watch it, but I watch it on YouTube because of how good it is. And it's so different. And it's real wrestling. I mean, it's little things like that that's so good.
I feel like we I feel like we need to put a disclaimer in these videos from now on because we're advertising a whole lot of wrestling shows. I feel like if we were ever to plug, like, Clash Wrestling or anything, we would need to put a disclaimer on every single video.
Yeah, and we're going to have to put a notice because I'll be swearing. I'm sorry, guys. I get really passionate about these things.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I'm sorry if I offended your ears in any way, shape, or form. But it's just, that's how passionate that's how me and Steve are, guys. We're passionate about the wrestling business, and that's why we're doing this.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. Like, we want to put our views into perspective for most people and see if anybody agrees with us. Or it can simply be...
please, if you disagree with us, too.
Yeah, even
please yell at us. That's what I want. Like, because you know what? I know I don't speak for everybody, but I also know that I do speak for many people when it comes to these topics.
Yeah. I mean, we do this for the fun of it. I mean, we like talking about wrestling. We just thought that we would bring it to a broader stage. And, we speak passionately about it. Like Sean said, we're not sponsored by any of these guys. We're not getting paid. We're just simply telling you guys how it is. And if we feel like it's...
and how we feel.
Yeah, and if we feel a certain product's good, we're going to advertise it like I guess people would normally.
Alright. Well, guys, TLC's on right now, and as much as I've enjoyed this, I'm going to go ahead and hop off and give the rest of the show to Steve. But basically, like Steve said, if you guys have any complaints, arguments, or you agree with us, then please, by all means, post in the comments, like this video, share it with your great-grandma Bertha who lives in Arkansas. I mean, share it to the world. Because quite frankly, we're just trying to get our opinions out there. And by all means, the more the merrier.
Exactly. Alright, well, thanks for coming on, Sean. I hope you enjoyed it.
Everybody.
Alright, see you, Sean.
Take care.
Alright, guys, so that was Sean. I'm going to take it on as best as I can from here. Like I said, we speak pretty passionately about wrestling, and I want to talk to other people about it, but like most of the people that I talk to about it, they're just like, oh, wrestling, yeah, okay. So I figured that getting Sean on here would be a great idea to do, talk about our ideas and all that good stuff, maybe even talk about indies, and I think that's what I wanted to try to do, and we never got around to it, as Sean was going to watch TLC, which is on right now. I didn't renew the network, unfortunately, but I hopefully will be renewing it by the time of the Royal Rumble. I don't even think there's that much to cover. I mean, we covered a lot. We talked about NXT, we talked about CM Punk a little bit, we talked about TLC a little bit, we talked about bookings and how we feel, well, how Sean feels like it should be done. I agree with this way, by the way. That wasn't a knock at him. I totally agree. We talked about like what WWE is kind of doing wrong in a way. So yeah, kind of alone here, and I don't even think I can cover all that much. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I can. We were talking about Sting, and there's been so much speculation. It's either Sting versus Undertaker or Sting versus Triple H. Honestly, people are saying Sting versus Triple H. Okay, I can sort of see that happening. But then on 15th anniversary of SmackDown, I believe, Rock came back, or it was like a pre-recording of The Rock and Triple H on Raw. The Rock, I guess in a way, challenged Triple H at WrestleMania 31, so I don't know if that's ever going to happen. If it does, then hey, that'd be pretty sick to see Rock versus Triple H one last time. But apparently with Sting's contract, he's signed up to do a few pay-per-views and then like a few house shows. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to plan this out and like who's gonna. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. I'm really curious to see how Sting is going to play out in this. And Sean's calling me back. Hello, you are back on the show.
Oh, cool.
Why did you call back?
What? Oh, well, to be honest, I thought it was over. I was going to call and see how long we went, but oh well.
Oh, well, we're about 40 minutes in.
There you go. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, I was just talking to them about how they plan on booking Sting for WrestleMania.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, even though I'm already off, I guess I'm back on. I'll go ahead and chime in my 2 cents.
Alright.
I personally think that I like Sting off TV.
Alright.
Because it's such a special occasion. Like, this guy was a part of WCW forever.
Yeah.
And then when he was offered the chance to go ahead and be a part of WWE when they bought WCW, he was like, nah, I'm going to do it. And when he was a TNA, why he was a TNA, I really don't know. But he did, and he was great there. I loved him at TNA. And I mean, unfortunately, he's a different team right now.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that's like, I understand people are like, Sting equals ratings, and he does.
Yeah.
But if Sting's on every Raw, he loses that aura of, holy shit, Sting's on Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, how would you feel if Undertaker was on every Raw?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But after a couple of weeks, it's like, oh, the Undertaker's on Raw. It's just one of those things, man. I mean, that's why I hated the Authority so much. Because it's like, I love them. In 2013, when they screwed in the band, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And after a year, it's like, you're going to come out, they're going to say, fuck you guys with the Authority.
Right.
And you're going to put the thing happen. And that's just the way they work.
Yeah.
So I really like the special Sting. Because it's one of those things now where nobody knows when Sting will come back.
Yeah.
Granted, it'll be around the Royal Rumble, but still. You don't know.
Even if he made a debut in the Royal Rumble, I would be pretty happy about that.
No, I wouldn't be.
You
I'll tell you why. Because Sting doesn't need the Rumble. Because let me tell you something. If Sting debuted at the Rumble, in the Rumble match, and he has to win.
You think so?
And if he doesn't win, then it's like, what the fuck?
Well, like...
Because you'll kill him. Like, I understand somebody could be, oh, well, what if you have Triple H on and eliminate him? Yeah, still kill them.
Well...
You kill them a little less, but still kill them. Because Sting has such a special place right now. Like, I'd much rather have Sting just wrestle at WrestleMania.
Alright.
That's what I would like.
Who would you like?
Have him wrestle at Mania. I don't care. Have him basically player. I don't care. Just have him wrestle at Mania.
Who would you want for him to face at WrestleMania?
Taker.
Taker? Really?
Hands down. Yeah. I highly doubt it's going to happen. I really do. But if I had to stick a name up there, I'd want to see him face Taker.
Well,
However, I will say, him versus Triple H is very interesting.
yeah.
And I'm actually totally okay with him versus Triple H. Because that's what it looks like is going to happen.
Yeah, that's like the major speculation that's going on now. And I think a lot of people are actually buying into, oh yeah, Sting versus Triple H, you know, that could work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
I think it'd be interesting.
I don't...
Or, another idea could be Triple H just bringing The Undertaker back as an advocate, and that is sweet. But, once again, one of the things that I don't think is going to happen.
Right.
I personally don't think that is going to happen.
Right.
But I'd really love him to. I would totally love for that man again. Or just to come back here. But,
Alright.
like I said, I highly doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, because both Sting and Undertaker are up in age, personally, I don't think it would be all that good, maybe for like the ticket sales, but honestly, the end product, I don't know. I don't think it would go very well.
Well, I mean, that's $7 million. They would sell just they'd sell tons of tickets. I would go. I would walk my ass to anything and buy a super duper high cheap seat only to see that last shadow.
Huh.
Because that's how special it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Undertaker was the thing that Mania is just that eloquent hunter.
Think so?
Yeah. I totally think so.
Alright.
But at the same time, I don't think they made any great match.
Right.
I mean, granted, will probably pull a spin and rock after like the first half minutes of the match when he looks big.
Yeah.
And everybody's orgasming everywhere.
Right.
I mean, the minute I see Sting and Taker in the same ring, I'm gonna shit myself. And that's just the way it's gonna happen, guys. Sorry, didn't mean to get
Right.
Go. Camera man. And promotion that you're 50 years old. I mean, that's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, just think I'm just going to shit myself. I mean, that was, because it's something that we all expected to happen.
Yeah.
In the longest time, we just never knew it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it finally happened, was just when it was like finally, it's just one of those things.
Right.
Like Black versus Hogan, that's when he too. That was just one of those things that's like, holy shit, this is actually happening.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just find it funny that I'm back out here. we had to bring a whole other topic. It's just how did it work?
Yeah.
You know, one of those pre-planned hard thoughts on wrestling. This is one of those opening sketches and whatnot.
Right. Alright, I think...
Is there anything else, Dave?
I don't think so.
Did we cover about everything? I think we covered
I think we've covered about everything that we've wanted to talk about. I mean, I think we may have added in a few extra things, but I think with the amount of time that we had, I think we pretty much covered everything. I mean, this is pretty impressive.
We got a good chunk in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're going to stick with it, then we'll stick with it. Put it that way.
Right. Well, I think that's gonna... Wait, were you gonna say something?
Oh, yeah. I want to end the day. Like, good night, everybody, woo!
I can't even do the woo. Alright. So,
It's good, man. It's hard to do. I can't woo either.
Yeah,
the Lord knows I'll start wooing, and then I'm going to do his talking. Everybody, so.
Right.
Woo! There it is.
Whoa! Man, nope. Can't do it. Can't do it. I can't. Wait.
Well, nobody can do it like the Nature Boy, so.
Yeah, I know. I was trying.
I was trying. I can do that.
Right.
Okay. I can imagine. I might have thinking of it as thinking about it.
Huh.
And then if she doesn't take out his head, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love Rick, he has got one hell of an ego. But he deserves it. So.
Right. Well.
And just so you guys know, if I had to choose between Hogan and Flair any day. Hands down. Greatest star of the 80s was Flair. Hands down.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because I like wrestling. I don't like big muscles calculating and leg drops to win. So. Sorry, Terry. Don't mean to offend you.
Alright, well, I think that we've pretty much covered everything. I know, guys, this has been a really long video, but like I said on Twitter, I kind of wanted to make this into a podcast, so it's going to be long episodes, and I hope you guys stuck around all the way up to this point, listening to two guys ramble on about wrestling and how, oh, you know, wow, I can talk. Your viewpoints are wrong, you know, my viewpoints are better. Hey, that's fine. If you think your viewpoint's better, then by all means, tell us. And we'll either agree or disagree with you. I mean, that's all we're here for, talking about wrestling weekly, every Saturday. So, yeah.
Like we said earlier, when I posted this on Sunday, because we thought of the idea today. So, we're looking at TLC, it's like, why not?
Right.
Well, just so you guys know, we will have episode 2 this very Saturday.
Yeah. So, expect these every Saturday. We'll try and make it every Saturday. If you guys enjoyed and want to see, well, we're going to do more, whether you enjoyed it or not, but if you guys did enjoy it, hit me up on the Twitter at Steve_Reapers with a Z. Subscribe to make sure that this extra long video gets in your sub box. And don't forget to slam the like button. I really enjoyed doing this. I hope you guys really enjoyed us doing this and getting separate viewpoints on this.
I enjoyed yelling. I love yelling while wrestling, man. I enjoy it.
Yeah, Sean's kind of a yeller. To be honest with you, I have never seen Sean speak this passionately about wrestling before, so this was kind of new and exciting to see.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm in school, so there's really nothing exciting going on.
Right.
So, I can get excited about.
Right. Alright, well, guys...
Well, once again, I'm out of here.
Alright.
Bye, Steve. I'll see you at school now. And take care of everybody else.
See you, Sean. Thanks for coming on. Alright, so... I don't know how many times I'm going to do this ending, but thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for giving us a listen. Sorry for any background noise. You gotta do what you gotta do when you record these videos and want to make content for you guys. So yeah, expect this weekly. I really enjoyed doing this. I'm glad I was able to bring the discussion videos back and in a form like this. This was unbelievable. This went really well, I'd like to think. So let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious on the feedback. And if you guys have stayed as long as this, trying to think, what can you guys do? Let's see. Trying to think. Comment down below. Hashtag. So you put the hashtag sign. WWE hashtag TLC hashtag CM Punk. Any of those three, or hashtag Sting. Whatever you guys want to do. Just put a hashtag to let me know that you guys made it this far in almost an hour in. I really enjoy doing this with Sean, as I said. And I will see you guys on this video, like this particular series, next Saturday. And as for other videos, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.